Welcome all my fellow Kobe here with another Warframe weekly rotation slash reset. Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend, and all that stuff. It was my birthday this past Saturday, so I had some fun. But yeah, let's get into this week's update. And yeah, please remember the guys to like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Trying to get to 500 subs. And yeah, so starting off this week, this Friday, will be the dev stream 184. Please be there. You will have a bunch of news and all that stuff, right? Now getting in directly into the calendar. This week we have for the first mission to kill 150 tech rat enemies with abilities, which will give you the option to pick between a a resource drop chance booster or a affinity booster, right? Then we have Awie's birthday. Moving over to the boost here, we have 20% melee attack, melee crit chance, I should say. A radiation version of Nourish, and every energy orb that you pick up will increase your range by 10% for 10 seconds. Next mission is to kill 10 Eximus, and the next reward is between a melee arcane adapter and a hex arcane. Moving over to the second week, this first challenge is to crack 150 containers. Use Zaku for that, it's pretty effective. Next reward is between 2000 Kuva and a single arcane. Now moving over to kill 300 enemies with your Warframe's abilities. No, with your melee weapons, I should say, right? And now looking at the rewards, we have a Amber Shard and a Built Forma. And for the next set of buffs, we have attacks from companions and specters, deal radiation status effects. Combo multiplier increases chance of enemies being opened for finishers. So the more you attack enemies with your melee weapon, the longer you open them up, or the more you open them up for finisher attacks, right? And reload speed, fire rate, casting speed, and melee attack speed are all increased when in the air. That's very interesting. And when it comes on to the last set, we have to kill 1,000 Scaldra troops. Then you'll be able to pick between a Warframe Excellence adapter or a form of blueprint, so whichever one of those you need the most, right? And for the next set of buffs, we have all weapons get 25% electricity damage, or electricity status chance, I should say. Specters deal 250% more damage, and you get 1.5 meters worth of punch through. And for the last mission here, we have to kill 500 Scaldra enemies with abilities. And for the last pick, you have a second chance of getting a drop chance booster or a weapon excellence adapter, right? Now moving over to the Nightwave, please guys remember that the Nightwave does end in 10 days, so be wary of that. The new one starts within 10 days, right? And then for the normal weeklies, we have kill 500 enemies, complete 15 missions, and to kill 30 Eximus. And then for this week's, we have complete 5 nightmare missions, to complete a survival for 20 minutes, complete 3 sabotage missions, kill 3 drones with your melee weapon, complete a mission with your primary only, and also to complete 10 finishers. Also, one that I'm missing is to complete 3 mobile defense missions, right? So looking at the critic offerings, remember you could get yourself some Kuva, 19 extract, Orkin reactors, and catalysts. You could also get yourself a few helmets for fashion framing purposes, a few weapon skins. And for this week's mods, we have for the Convectrix, the Penta, I believe the Magnus, and the Mutilus Quanta. And for the aura mods, we have Shield Disruption, Corrosive Projection, Loot Detector. Out of all these 3, Corrosive Projection and Loot Detector are the most useful. Corrosive Projection being the most useful. Right, no weapons this week. So looking at the Conclave mods, we have for Nyx, the Rubico, Latron, and for Mirage, right? And that pretty much covers everything when it comes down to this week's Nightwave, right? Moving over to the Archon hunt. This week is Amar's week, which is the red Archon shards. We have a spy, a defense mission, and the showdown, right? Moving over to the Divinity circuit, we have Saren, Vauban, and Nova. Out of everyone here, Saren is definitely the most annoying one to farm. You could get Vauban from the Nightwave, Nova from boss missions, and I mean Saren does drop from a boss mission as well. It's just very annoying, right? And she's arguably the best one here, right? And moving over to the Steel Path one, we have the newest set of Incarnons, the Dara, the Sestra, the Okina, the Sicarus, and the Sybaris, right? Out of all of these here, I'd say the Okina, Sybaris, and Sicarus are definitely the best. In my opinion, I believe that the Okina is definitely the best one here, so I go with that first. The Dara is very mediocre in my use. The Sestra I haven't tried yet, testing it out this week, right? And if you already have everything here, slide on over, get yourself some ribbons or some Kuva if you need it. And now checking to see what Akrithis has in the Dorma Zone. She has a melee Riven mod, a Orichan Catalyst blueprint, a primary arcane adapter, or 5000 Kuva. So if you need any of these things right here, visit the Creathes. Right, and now moving over to Teshin to see what Teshin has. Teshin currently has a Forma bundle. That's 3 Forma for 75 Steel Essence. I do think it's worth it because that's 3 days worth of crafting Forma, right? For just 75 Steel Essence. I'd go ahead and grab it. I'm going to go ahead and farm up some more Steel Essence so I can. Bird 3. Remember to visit Bird 3 and go to Shiny Treasures to get yourself an extra Archon Shard. This week you will be able to get a Amber Shard for 30,000 rep. Right? Well, it'll always be 30,000 rep, but just please keep it in mind once you get to rank 5 with the Syndicate, right? With the Kavia Syndicate. And now moving over to Necroloid to see what we have for the Elite Deep Archimedia. This week we have Disruption, Mirror Defense, and Exterminate. So, pretty chill. Right, for the Disruption, all Gruzzlings are Eximus, enemies' health slowly regenerates. This does include the Necromex, and all enemies have Overguard equal to 50% of their health, so everything will be a little more tanky, right? When it comes on to the Mirror Defense, we have the Vitrium and Oracle slowly take damage over time, however, getting Glyphs, heal them and stop the damage. Slow the Vampiric Luminous guys, the little dark guys from the Veer will be here, they'll sap your energy and your health. Right, and now moving over to the Exterminate, Necromex will appear more often, allies will be slowed whenever they slay an enemy, and the Rogue Caliverns do 5 times damage to Overguard and Necromex, right? And now moving over to the personal modifiers, we have Fractured Armor. Every time you cast an ability, you lose 10% armor, abbreviated abilities, 50% less ability duration, Gear Embargo won't be able to use gear, and Frame Curse Syndrome. Every time you cast an ability, you'll lose some health, right? And that is pretty much it for the EDA. And that's pretty much it for today's video. I want to say thank you guys so much for stopping by. Please remember to like the videos, subscribe to the channel. I have a lot more stuff coming on. And yeah, peace.